First game of the NBA group play in the NBA Cup tournament. And this one is with the Charlotte Hornets as Heat win 126-108 to the Charlotte Hornets. This was a very definition. This is the definition of a roller coaster. It started off beautiful. Beautiful start at the Miami Heat and then a horrific second quarter. And then a back and forth third quarter. Then the fourth quarter, it was pretty good. Pretty good fourth quarter. But I think the first quarter was the best quarter ever. Ever. And it's proven because what we found out is that this quarter, the Miami Heat scored 53 points in the first quarter, up by 20 against the Charlotte Hornets. The first quarter score was 53-33. That is an all-time record for the Miami Heat in the first quarter. That is a new franchise record for the Miami Heat. What a first quarter it is for the Miami Heat, man. It was a great first quarter. In fact, I want to say between 10 to 11 three-pointers were shot down. It was raining threes in the first quarter. Everyone shot a three. Everyone did. There was like at least 8 players that shot a three, okay? Mitchell shot a three. Wiggins shot a three. Pelle Larsson, I believe, shot a three. Norman Powell was off to a great start. Fontecchio shot a three. Drew Smith shot a three. And by the way, this is without Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, because Bam Adebayo is going to be out for a little bit with a foot injury. I heard it's a day-by-day thing, but thankfully it's nothing serious. Khalil Ware also shot a three-pointer. At least 8 players shot a three-pointer in the first quarter. 53-33 in the first quarter. Awesome. I cannot say the same with the second quarter. What the hell was that? We were outscored in the second quarter, 19-36. Mind you this, our largest lead for the Miami Heat was 26. It was a 26-point lead for the Miami Heat, and they blew it. Believe it or not, folks, they blew that lead. Charlotte went on a 27-2 run in the second quarter. Miami was stuck at 64 for almost 6 minutes. And in the meanwhile, Charlotte was scoring points. Until finally Pelle Larsson was able to shoot those free throws. But that's besides the point. Really, Miami? Really? Halftime score winds up being 72-69. But man, this should have been a whole lot more if Miami was connecting shots and had better defense in the second quarter. That was nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking and very frustrating second quarter. Okay, that was a bad quarter all around for the Miami Heat. It is. It's bad. It was terrible. Third quarter was your back and forth. The Heat won that quarter by 3, 22-19 in the third quarter. I mean, Norman Powell was excellent in the third quarter. There was a challenge by the Miami Heat. There was actually a foul, a foul committed by Heat, but it ends up being a driving layup for Pelle Larsson, and the Heat challenged it because they said it was an offensive foul, and it ends up being a no call. It ends up being no call. That's a right call because that should never have been a call to begin with. And look, that should never have been called to begin with. I like that challenge from the Miami Heat. Good challenge. But it ends up being a back and forth. I mean, Miles Bridges, Musa Diabate with some lanes. And some of the players, especially Trey Mann, Khan, Noepel, if I said it correctly, was the big reasons why that second quarter was the way it is. But the third quarter score ends up being 94-88. There was an offensive tip-in shot from Diabate. And then the fourth quarter, Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez was absolutely awesome. Khalil Ware was getting coached by Bam Adebayo, and he showed in some effort. He made some pretty big blocks. And then And probably the best play of the night, has to go to Jaime Jaquez Jr. Completely, an ankle-breaking play to a driving dunk is Jaime Jaquez. Christ almighty. Stop it. Bro, just stop. Stop it, Jaime Jaquez. Like, what are you doing? You didn't have to disrespect him like that. He has a ball, and he ends up quickly going left. And all in the meanwhile, the defender, I forgot who it was, but he ends up getting his ankles hurt, and he drives it in for a dunk. Play of the week. Literally, play of the week. And Jaime Jaquez continues to do his thing. However, in doing so, he really put his foot on the line, and he ends up rolling his ankle, Jaime Jaquez. So I hope it's nothing serious for Jaime Jaquez, man. I really hope it's nothing serious. And he's able to play through tomorrow, which I doubt it. We already lost Bam, and we already lost Tyler for a little while. With Tyler, it's not much longer. I think it's like one more week or so. I heard they're aiming for November 17th. That's against the Knicks, so that's what I'm hearing. And that's going to be in Miami. So we'll see what happens when that time. So the Heat might end up being fully healthy by then. But I hope Jaime Jaquez is okay. But yeah, Heat win the first group stage of the game. The court, that bright yellow court. Do you like that court design? I don't know if I really like it too much, but they win this game 126 to 108, getting the first win in group play and their fifth win of the season, undefeated at home so far. The team stats is pretty good. 51-99 for the Heat. That's pretty good. 3-pointers, I think, was pretty solid for the most part. Free throws were definitely more of an advantage for Charlotte. Okay, 24-27. The rebounding was more of a... with that being said, we were out rebounded 20 times. 57-37, Charlotte has the rebounds. This is where Khalil needs to put into that more effort of the height. But everything else is almost all Heat advantage. 22 out of 31. The Heat has 31 assists. Charlotte with 22. 10 steals for the Heat. Charlotte has 4. Although 9 blocks for Charlotte, 7 blocks for Miami. There was a flagrant foul that happened in the first quarter with Norman Powell's 3-point shooting that ends up being a 4-point play. So there's that scenario. And Charlotte never took the lead. I don't even think they ever tied it as the games go on. So that is really good that the Heat did not totally blow it, but they did blow that 26-point lead. So, they got to address that. They got to address that right there. And how about the Miami Heat doing it for Spo, man? This was a rough 24 hours for Spoelstra. In case you don't know what happens, which I'm sure many of you do already, but in case you don't, as they were landing back in Miami from Denver, for whatever reason that I don't know if they have answers for, or maybe I haven't done much more research into it, but Eric Spoelstra's house was caught on fire in Southwest Miami. That looked like a blaze. That fire ends up being a flame that just created an arson took over. Thankfully, nobody is hurt, though. Thank goodness nobody is hurt. Eric Spoelstra's family is okay, and I feel bad for Eric Spoelstra. In fact, I relate to what he's been through, not with the house, but with my job and my business going on fire years ago. It was I can totally understand what he's going through with the situation, but not, although the home part not really, but the work thing, yeah. But no, man, I totally get what he's going through. It sucks. But thankfully nobody's hurt, and I pray for Eric Spoelstra and his family that they get their house back very quickly. So the Heat did it for him, and he was able to coach through this game, which is fucking awesome. Man, Spoelstra's awesome. Okay, let's go with the box score. We start off with Charlotte. Miles Bridges with 14 points, with 4 for 16 in field goals, an off night offensively for him. But he does have 6 for 6 in free throws. With 12 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. He does have a double-double, though. Ryan Kalkbrenner with 10 points for him, with 5 for 7 in field goals, with 5 rebounds and 4 blocks. There's your key right there. 4 blocks for just this man alone. Trey Mann with 20 points, with 2 for 8 in 3-pointers, 7 for 24 in field goals, 4 for 4 free throws, with 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. Cyan James, I think it's Cyan, with 10 points, with 1 for 5 in 3-pointers, 4 for 8 in field goals, plus the N1 with 2 rebounds. And Con Knepel, I think I said it correctly, I don't know. He has 30 points. That is a rookie high for Charlotte in all time, I believe. 5 for 13 in 3-pointers, 9 for 23 in field goals, 7 for 7 in free throws, with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal on the block. He's going to have a bright future. I'm telling you, he's going to have a bright future. And Musa Diabate with 10 points, with 4 for 6 in field goals, 2 for 5 free throws, with 11 rebounds and 3 blocks. He has a double-double for himself. And notice I have not said LaMelo Ball. He has not played in this game because of injury. And Grant Williams, yeah, he's still out. But some of those players are not playing in this game. But yet they kept it a little bit closer than they should, and especially in the second quarter. The rookie stepped up for Charlotte, but just not enough. Miami, Andrew Wiggins with 22 points. Another great game for him, with 4 for 6 in 3-pointers, 9 for 16 in field goals, with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal in the block. Khalil Ware with 7 points, 1 for 5 in 3-pointers, 3 for 13 in field goals, so off night offensively, with 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Look, 57-37 getting out rebounded by Charlotte is unacceptable. This is where Khalil Ware needs to step up with the rebound. And I keep bringing up Khalil Ware because I truly believe in Khalil Ware. He is so capable, and I believe in him. I have faith in him, but he needs to have faith in himself and get in that effort and be the dog that he is promised to be for the Miami Heat. Norman Powell, of course, 25 points for him, 2 for 5 in 3-pointers, 3 for 3 in free throws, with 10 for 20 in field goals, with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 25 points. Norman Powell is just awesome. Davion Mitchell with 9 points, with 1 for 3 in 3-pointers, 4 for 7 in field goals, with 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. And Pelle Larsson, his career high, 19 points. I thought it was 20 points, but 19 points in his new career high. I mean, Pelle Larsson was awesome. 1 for 3 in 3-pointers, 2 for 3 in free throws, 8 for 11 in field goals, with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. And then off the bench, awesome bench. So Simone Fontecchio with 11 points for him, with 1 for 3 in 3-pointers, 4 for 4 in free throws, 3 for 6 in field goals, with 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 18 points, with 1 3-pointer. He has made 1 for 2 in free throws, 8 for 15, including the play of the game, ankle-breaking dunk, with 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Man, could have had a triple-double, Jaime Jaquez. And then one more I can bring up. Nikola Jovic with 10 points, with 4 for 6 in field goals, 2 for 2 in free throws, with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Great game for Nikola Jovic. But Miami does not get too much rest, though, because their next game, is actually tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock against the Portland Trail Blazers. This is without Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is still out with the injury. I think it's an Achilles injury or an ACL tear. I think he's out for the season, I think. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. But they're still holding off. They're holding off without him, and this is just a crazy situation for Portland. They're having a good season, a good start of the season so far, and they're still without Damian Lillard. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this one. I believe we have 4 flipping games tomorrow. Let me see real quick. Tomorrow is Miami Hurricanes versus Syracuse. That's one game. 4 games tomorrow. My goodness. Starts off with a college football game tomorrow, 3:30. 2 game starts 8 o'clock, Miami Heat. And probably more importantly, Inter Miami. That's game 3 of the round 1 series. That is a winner-take-all game. Inter Miami has to win that one. And then the final game of the night is the Florida Panthers. That is a late game at San Jose. So we're looking at a very busy day tomorrow for South Florida sports. Very busy day, and then one game on Sunday, which is Dolphins and Bills. Great. All right, man. Well, there you go. That's good to do with this one. I will see you all for all those videos tomorrow. I am near 100%. I'm near 100%. I'm just hoping that I can be 100% within this weekend. But knowing the 4 games tomorrow, most likely not. But anyway, guys, that's good to do it. I'll see you guys next time. Go Heat, and let's go home. Good night.